Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blaugrana Everything, and welcome back to the channel. And man, the football has left FC Barcelona because let's be honest, it was a very not comfortable 2-1 victory against Girona at home. And let's be completely honest, Barcelona are very, very fortunate to have come away from that match with all 3 points. A last minute winner scored by none other than, clutch centre forward Pedri and Araujo, who did play as a forward for Barca really the last 10 minutes in what gave me some very vivid flashbacks to Koeman ball. Because how many times did that used to happen? Luke De Jong up front as a centre forward, and Gerard Piqué also up there with him, and Ronald Araujo as well. When things were desperate enough, would have all three of them in the opponent's box. This time around, of course, we just have Araujo, and he got the job done. Okay, it was, I should admit, a nice finish as well as assist by Frankie De Jong, both of whom really two players who you don't expect to be making the kind of plays that they made here. You don't expect Frankie to be running towards the touchline, cutting it back, and you don't expect Araujo to be, sliding into the 6-yard box with a precise finish that gives the goalkeeper no chance. But that's exactly what happened, and that's how Barcelona got away with what was, I felt, really a terrible performance, because I'm not really being dramatic when I say the football has left FC Barcelona at this moment in time. Let's be fair to them. The opening 15-ish, 20-ish maybe minutes of the game, Barca were definitely on top of things. They looked like, this was going to be one of those matches where they could score 3 or 4. And, with Rashford as well hitting the crossbar at some point after Girona had, of course, worked their way back into the match. But, you did still feel like at the end of that first half, Barca were lucky to only be at 1-1, because Girona, much like Sevilla last time out, had quite a number of 1v1s, which, Szczesny did very well to save. Szczesny did very, very well to save here and keep Barcelona in this match. And I should honestly apologize to Szczesny because, I did say that with John Garcia out, we wouldn't really have a goalkeeper who could keep us in matches like that. But you know what? That's exactly what he did today. And while I don't know if he can do this, next weekend in El Clasico at the Bernabeu, I'm perfectly ready just, to watch Barcelona get torn to pieces, because there's no way Kylian Mbappe is getting through, 1v1 and missing those chances the way that Girona's forwards were missing them. All due respect to Girona's forwards, Mbappe just isn't going to be missing those chances. So I think this is probably a moment when, as Barca fans, we just take a moment to think about what's about to happen to us this coming weekend. Honestly, I mean, you can, of course, say, well, we still have Yamal, we still have Pedri, De Jong, and all of them, but you could see from today's match that, Pedri is looking tired already, okay? We're less than 10 games into the league, and Pedri is looking gassed. He could use some rest. And, of course, the likes of Fermin and Lamine, whilst they did have bright moments in this game, especially Fermin, they still were not able really to last as long as we know that they can, because they just don't have the match fitness. And while we're talking about players looking gassed, players looking tired, what about that performance from Jules Koundé? My goodness, that is the worst I have seen Koundé play in a very long time. He kept on giving the ball away needlessly and in dangerous situations. He definitely cannot play in El Clasico. That's what I'll say. Jules Koundé needs to be benched for El Clasico. If he starts, it will be disastrous. I would much rather see Eric Garcia up against Vinicius than see Koundé in his current form playing against Vinicius. But anyway, there's not really that much to say. Some positives from the match, probably we can talk about the performance by Rooney coming off the bench. He did look pretty sharp, pretty decent, and you get the feeling if he gets more minutes, he'll definitely be more useful, coming off the bench and just playing as a backup for Yamal. But yeah, aside from that, lucky win for Barcelona really, and very worrying, again, like I say, very worrying signs for the El Clasico that is upcoming. I do not even want to imagine all of what could happen. But, I just hope I'll be able to sleep peacefully on that night. But aside from that, I thank you all for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on the performance. What did you think of what Barca did today? Is there anyone who you feel I should have praised a bit more? Maybe, we could say Kubarsi didn't have a bad game this time around. Neither did Frankie. I thought they were at least close to an acceptable level of performance from either of them. But yeah, let me know what you thought. Aside from that, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day and Forza Barca.